Hey everybody, and welcome to the Lightning SEO blog post. Today we're going to talk about reputation management. Now, reputation management's been in the news a lot as more businesses are sort of realizing that we're all being looked up, researched online. Like it or not, we all are. This has become a huge topic of concern for small, mid-sized businesses because, well, businesses from just about anywhere in the world today can conduct business in your backyard. So if your online presence doesn't speak volumes about your expertise, you are definitely guaranteed to lose marketplace or market share and clients to someone else who is better at reputation management than you are. So you need to know how to manage your reputation online. So I just want to do a quick introduction of myself. I'm Tanner Carson. I'm the owner of a digital media company in Dubai called 74 by 2. I'm also the founder of a news website called SMEworld.com. And I'm also the co-host of a small mid-sized business TV show called SMEbiz.tv, also owning a couple of companies in Malaysia and Dubai for SEO. Plus, I'm a keynote speaker and I love chocolate. So connect with me on the Twitter handle here, Lightning SEOX, and we can even get through this a bit more. So what am I going to cover today? Well, today we're going to cover what is reputation management, why is it important for SMEs, transparency, what's the whole risk behind being transparent online, 3 great tips that I can give to help you manage your reputation effectively right now, and also 10 commandments of reputation management. So let's get started right away. Now, what is online reputation management anyway? Well, it's just another fancy way of saying search engine optimization. Essentially, if you don't know what search engine optimization is, the very quick and short of it is that you've got a lot of websites, images, videos, different kinds of content, and you want to rank them really high on Google or other search engines because you want to be findable. You want people to come and find your businesses and so on. So that search engine optimization is the actions taken to try to get your content higher up on search engine results. Now, like it or not, again, people are looking you up online. They're either looking you up online or they're looking up your business online. And what they find when they type stuff in is either pictures, reports, news, your website, and so on. So the more the more content you can give to search engines, the better optimized they are, the better your web presence is, and so on. Now, online reputation management, of course, relates to your reputation, your persona in the world, and how it's being portrayed. Now, there are examples of how online reputation management nightmares are. For example, these two jokers are the people that a couple of years ago did some stuff to a Domino's pizza. They used to be employees, and of course that became an online reputation management nightmare because they would put their video of them doing weird stuff to pizzas onto YouTube. That went viral, and as you can see, just within a day or so, the video was viewed more than 1 million times. So that was a crazy nightmare situation. So now, why is online reputation management important? But well, besides the risks of not being seen online, you have to remember that people are constantly searching for people. There's no such thing as B2B. There's only business to people. So people are always looking up businesses. People are always looking up your services or your market. Now, if you're not available there, they're just going to pick somebody else. So get your search engine optimization done and handled really well. But one way of doing that is, of course, better reputation management. So what ends up happening is you end up having a lot of user-generated content about your company, testimonials, talking about your expertise. For example, a blog. I do a blog, and then so people find this information online, and then later on find my business. So you need user-generated content about your business, about your products. Now, whatever these people find is either going to be because you put it there or somebody else put it there. Not everything related to your reputation is obviously going to be coming from you. So some of the stuff could be news reports, some of the stuff could be related to social media. The first thing you need to do, of course, is make sure that your company, everything related to your company is online. So if I did a search, for example, from one of my companies, 74 by 2, all 1060 results are actually related to my company. I'm just looking at it right now. I'm thinking, okay, there's the first page. Let me go to the second, third. I just want to find out if anyone's been saying stuff about me or not, or at least my company, what it is. There's images. You see my online presence for this company is quite good. And of course, it's just other sites looking at the analysis of our site and also people talking about it on Twitter here, for example, and so on. So that's what online reputation management is. Now, of course, what if you found something that wasn't positive? Well, there are different kinds of people out there. There's no guarantee that someone will not dislike you or dislike your product or something like that, but that's okay. Now, this is the worst example of something where a website called Ted Mosby is a Jerk was put up. This is actually a joke website. It's a website that was created by the people from a TV show called How I Met Your Mother. But there are actually examples of websites like this out there. So there are hate websites and so on. So that's why it's very important for small, mid-sized businesses to understand how online reputation management works and how they can perhaps suppress this kind of messaging, because you don't attack it directly. You do have to suppress it by using better online reputation management tactics and so on. So that's why it's important. Get your product, get your services, get your blog, get your content and your expertise and testimonials and so on the internet, and make sure that those are the things that people find first. Now, there's the dirty word of transparency. Transparency essentially is, well, when you're on social media, for example, you're actually transparent about your business message, your products, and what's going on. So first of all, being transparent could mean that you're allowing people within your organization to actually talk to others that are out there. It is, of course, important because it's the easiest way to establish a one-to-one communication channel amongst other people that are out there looking at your products or services. Asking for feedback is being transparent, because not everything you do will be perfect. So if you publicly ask for feedback, some of the stuff that might come back might not be what you necessarily like hearing, but the thing is that it will probably help you improve your services or products or your engagement. And of course, you should never hide criticism. You want to start addressing criticism publicly. Now, the thing is, of course, transparency is a bit risky. You can open yourself up to criticism publicly, but then it really depends on the feedback that you give, which will make your brand look good or not. Now, here's an example, for example, of Dark Horse Espresso here on their Twitter feed. Someone named April Dunford sort of says, hey, you know what? Most of the people in your coffee shop come here to work. Why don't you guys have more electrical outlets? Now, the unfortunate situation that happened for Dark Horse Espresso is that they were transparent, but of course their staff were not told how to manage the social media engagement. And so instead of saying, hey, you know what, you guys are right, let's put in more electric outlets, someone said, that's awesome, we're in the coffee business, not the office business, we have plenty of outlets to do what we need. So essentially they're saying we don't find what our clients think is important. And that could become a nightmare, because your business is sort of riding on the fact that these people will come to you, buy from you, and will come and become repeated buyers. So unfortunately, quite a lot of SMEs don't understand this, but reputation management isn't an overhead expense or cost to be cut. In today's internet world, it's everything, because as a business brand, it's either you or someone else more invested in their growth who's going to come out on top. Okay, so now I'm just going to share 3 tips to improve your reputation management. One of the first things you need to do is always look up your name or your company's name on Google. It's extremely important that you find out what's going on out there. So, for example, I've searched for myself on Google. I like to look myself up on a regular basis. Out of the 233,000 results just for my specific name, I like to look around who's talking about what, who's uploading videos of myself talking at events. There's some interview of myself in an oil and gas magazine, Pinterest, social medias. Now, don't just stick to the first page, of course. Go to a couple of pages, find out what's going on with your name, who's saying what, who's doing what, and how they are also optimizing content around you. Okay, so just make sure that you realize what's going on. Also look up your companies. Now the thing is, of course, I've looked up one of my news companies, and out of the 14,100 results of this brand new news companies we just launched, I want to make sure that everything related to it, all the content is there and everything is positive. Okay, now getting to number 2, always generate new content specific to your business interests and make sure to have Google authorship connect to you. So I'm going to explain what Google authorship is extremely quickly, but if you want to learn more about it, I actually did a Lightning SEO blog post about it on dubaiseo.me. Just go to the blog page and watch that video on how to get your authorship set up. But essentially, you need to start creating content. So even if you're just an oil and gas type of company or a transport and logistics company, or if you're a law firm, it doesn't really make a difference. People need to go online. They're going to look for you anyway. So you might as well just clutter the webosphere or the internet with as much of your expertise as possible. So now, why Google authorship is important is, for example, let's say that you're a law firm and you start to blog post about different developments in the legal framework of your country or whatever it is, or you're just putting out posts related to law updates and so on in employment law, for example. But you want to put those up in a blog and create the content yourself as authors because you want people to believe and understand that the lawyers who are working in your law firm are the experts and they should be trusted. So, for example, what I did was I went into Google authorship, and again, please watch that the post that I did on Google authorship on Dubai SEO.me. Essentially, what it does is if you look someone up or if you look up a particular topic, what ends up happening is you've got articles. For example, here this article says dealing with bad bosses, blah blah blah, and of course this is created by somebody in my sme-world.com news website. But Ellen and I, we've both also been posting articles, and within the first page of SME World, what we find is that there's articles with our pictures next to it. It says who the article's by. In Google Plus, how many people's circles am I in, and of course some other information about the article. And you can literally go straight to the article page. You can actually see that's an article that was written by me, and there's an article that was written by Ellen. Essentially, it's a trust factor. Google authorship requires that you have a Google Plus account. It's a type of social media. If you don't know it, you got to get up there anyway. Okay, and once you get your Google Plus account optimized, you tie it to something called Google authorship. And essentially, every time you write or post an article, it shows up like this. The conversion rate, there have been studies, the conversion rate for click-through rates on this are in the 60s and 70% versus other non-authorship articles. Okay, so that's very important. And number 3 is always create cyber alerts for yourself. So what a cyber alert is, essentially Google has a tool, and you can do this with other search engines. Google has a tool called Google Alerts. So it's just google.com/alerts. And you can set up an alert for any word or phrase. And essentially anytime this is mentioned in a specific set, let's say, for example, my name is mentioned here at the very bottom. It says Tanner Kilcarson. I will actually get an email delivered to my Gmail account as it happens. So it might happen immediately, it might happen a few hours from someone mentioning it. It's a really great way of keeping track of who's saying what is being said. Now the thing is Google Alerts for some reason hasn't been working so well lately. So what you got to do is check out some alternatives. I just clicked on alternatives to Google Alerts. There's a few of them. You're welcome to just go search online. Just go to Google and type in alternative to Google Alerts, and there are many others. Don't really know why Google's doing that, but it's not my place to say. It's just for you guys to understand. All right, so now down to the 10 commandments of good reputation, online reputation management. So I'm just going to say them all out really quickly. I also did an article on this. So number 1, become well respected. Now the thing is that people will only do business with other people who they know, like, and trust. Respect or trust is one of those things that's an asset. It's perishable. It is hard to gain, but once you've got it, people will stick to you. Businesses will stick to you. So this is probably number 1, because this is the most important than any other online reputation management commandment that I'm going to show you today. Be radically transparent. Get out there and just start saying what the business is and isn't doing. There are critics you can hide the critics, you could try to silence them, but they're always going to be there. So it's just better to be transparent and show that improvement within your business is occurring. Monitor what's being said about you. Albeit that this is a joke Twitter account, Queen Elizabeth Windsor, but it's kind of a true comment. Her comment here on Twitter, her post says, "Dear whoever runs Apple now, how about inventing an iPhone with a battery that lasts longer than half an hour? You're absolute morons." Of course, this is kind of a funny tweet, but it was retweeted almost 1,400 times, and it is kind of true. I'm an iPhone user, and it actually does run out quite quickly sometimes, and instead of buying an extra piece, why don't they just make a better iPhone? So this is a suggestion from a potential consumer, and if you're a good brand, you would know that you could just come out there, monitor what people are saying, and then respond to it very quickly. Okay, which is my next commandment, which is react quickly and politely. Of course, you want to react because you want customers to realize that you're there, that you're listening, and that you're engaging them. But you want to be polite. You don't need to be barking orders at people, and you definitely don't want to be saying negative things on social media, which could be taken completely out of context and can go viral. So any reply is better than a late reply. So make sure it's quick and polite. and address criticism immediately and publicly. Obviously, there's going to be critics out there related to whatever you're doing. Make sure that you get out there and do it publicly. Now, if you were to, put under the rug, let's say you wanted to sweep under the rug something that a critic said on, let's say, your Facebook profile or your company page, the problem with that is that other people will have already seen it, and then they will have seen it disappear. It's sort of like all those conspiracy theories where you just sort of see people against government disappearing in those movies, but you never really find out what happened, and everyone suspects something's wrong, and they might not trust you after. But if you were to publicly say, hey, you know what, thanks very much for the feedback, we understand we didn't do this correctly, but here's how we're going to solve it, all those other people that were once your fans are now even bigger fans because they can see your customer service in action. It's extremely important that you do it. You address criticism immediately and make sure that it's publicly done. Number 6, treat your Google page result, number 1, as your business card. Remember, people are looking for you online. So if I was going to look up my company, this is page 3. So if I go to page 1 of my company, 74by2.com, everything on this page is everything that people find when they look for 74by2. So I don't want there to be any other companies there. I also don't want any other types of businesses or other type of content that might be damaging to my business. So make sure you get your search engine optimization up and running in order. If you need help with that, don't forget to contact me. Number 7, understand your detractors. Obviously, there's going to be criticism, but it's got to be a chance to learn more about your audience and perhaps craft a better message in the future. So there's nothing you can do about these people. They obviously will always exist, and you can't avoid being online because all business is there now too. But understanding how they work, understanding whether they're illegitimate attackers or not, this is really important. Now, number 8, this is something that some people don't understand, is that you should attack actually your illegitimate attack. You should go after your illegitimate attackers. Sometimes you just have to fight illegal behavior. Look this up online. Look up what's legal and illegal in your regions, in your countries. But essentially, you are okay to, under defamatory actions and so on, go after specific type of companies or people for slander or whatever it is that's going on online. But predominantly, you'll find that the kind of attacks are happening internally within staff, like these 2 jokers who screwed up the pizza from Domino's Pizza, and so they were sort of attacking the brand itself from the inside, and the brand took action. They were fired, they were arrested, and they're doing time in prison or something like that. Learn from your mistakes. Obviously, no one's perfect. Here's an example of how Boston.com News, they made a mistake, and they put it out on Twitter that they kept correcting the information, so it was actually about this person, J.M. Bergoglio, is not the account for Jorge Mario Bergoglio. Our apologies. So it's okay to be transparent about that, just open yourself up to that kind of correction. And people like that kind of stuff because they realize, well, you are a human, you're not just a robot. And of course, number 10, ask for help if necessary. I'm obviously here if you need any help with how to do better search engine optimization and definitely how to improve your reputation management online. Give me a call, give me a tweet. You guys can email, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm all over social media. But I hope this information was really useful for you. I hope that this improves the way you see reputation management and search engine optimization. And if you need anything else from the future, come on down to our Lightning SEO blog posts on DubaiSEO.me. And we hope that this was useful for you. Take care.